And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to something a little bit different, something a little bit special. I know, ESL Masters did begin, and originally we were going to co-stream ESL Masters Asia, but very last minute, very last second, we have a very special event here, the Kashim Friendly Showmatches. Let's go. Very impromptu, very last second, but I'm more than happy to jump in and cover some more StarCraft. Let's go, Poppy, let's go. And we are diving right into this. So, oh my god, I should, there we go. Really just fix some things here. But for those wondering, predictions in the chat are soon to be open because this is something special. This is a best of 5 show match here. We have 2 lined up for us tonight. 2 show matches back to back. The first one is between a Terran and a Protoss. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Solaris, we have the Polish Protoss player representing Storm Gaming. It is Gerald. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the American Terran player representing Maturino Esports. It is Future. Oh, we're popping off. Let's go. Shout out to Kashim, by the way, who of course just subscribed for 2 months. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you so much for subscribing. The MVP, the VIP of the stream, of course, as Kashim is a big name within the StarCraft community. Without Kashim, Wikipedia would be worse off, and Wikipedia would not be where it is today. So big shout out, big love, a lot of love to Kashim. Of course, he's also a big part of the Polish community as well. Without Kashim, you know, things like the eSport event or the SC2 circuit, it wouldn't be run as smoothly, wouldn't be run as well. So thank you for everything that you do, Kashim, and thank you so much for helping organize these show matches as well. Now, for some context, this is a best of 5 show match here, and thankfully it's not anything too crazy like actually, is it winners take all? Let me just double check. I was like, no shot, Papi. Okay. It's not quite winners take all. It's going to be a $50 show match. $50, Papi. And we are going to be splitting it up. 40 for the winner, 10 for the loser. And there is a Maturino page as well. There is a Maturino page. If you want to help support this tournament, you can do so. Sorry, help support this show match. You can do so. Links are in the chat for that Maturino. We do have the bunker on the way. So far, Zell does come out. Again, it was a proxy Rax here from Future. First Reaper arrives. The bunker is going to be denied. So far, a good reaction out of Gerald, able to shut that down ahead of time. A probe will go down, and the Reaper can get a full scout at least. We can maybe try to pick off another worker as well, but alas, so far, we are keeping up. So far, Gerald is able to maintain his position here. Even pulls a couple of boys, does pull back as well. Barely trying to keep that probe alive, and he will. The probe will survive. Adept comes out, and we can shoo away this Reaper. We do have a second Reaper on the way, and again, thankfully, the bunker was dealt with. Thankfully, we don't have to worry about that. Ooh, we are maintaining control of ourselves as Future. Gerald, he's maintaining control of his bases, but Future across the map, he is doubling down here. This is a very delayed CC. Future went for the factory into Starport before that command center here, so a very delayed base in favor of going for a factory and a Starport. Probe goes down, but Gerald got a full scout. Gerald, he got a full scout of the main base. He saw the factory, he saw the Starport. He's aware that aggression is coming his way. The first Adept does get across the map. The Zealot waddling across the map as well. The goal here to delay the CC even further. Adept shades into the main, and the Zealot goes straight for that SCV. Future, his economy, his natural base was already delayed to begin with, and now it's going to be even more so here as the Zealot is finally going to be cleaned up as well. We do deal with this, and Future can finally get the space back up and running. A mine drop is coming up behind this. We do have additional Widow Mines on the way, the Medevac as well, and Future is sending everything across the map. A bit of a kitchen sink here, just doing whatever he can to get damage done, but alas, Gerald has amassed an army, kept that Adept alive, has additional Stalkers as well. Behind this, we have a Stargate opener, Phoenix is in production, and we have a Twilight Council follow-up. Interesting. So it looks like Gerald does want to go into Phoenixes initially to get map control, and we have Charge on the way behind this. Blink would be a surprise. Not impossible, but I doubt that Blink is going to be on the way. They have the same role as the Phoenix. As the drop is coming in. Oh, we're covering up. Oh, we try to cover that ramp. One of the mines is going to get picked up. The other does burrow in the mineral line. One Widow Mine goes down. The other is going to pop up. Big connection here on the Phoenix. Workers are going down. That's going to be 4 probes in total. The mine shots didn't quite connect, but the Reapers were going to town, and this will be cleaned up. And was this worth it in the end? The medevac is going to get shut down as well. Looking at the unit's loss tab, that's what I've done. Oh. It was 4 probes for 2 Reapers, 2 mines, and a medevac. I would say that this is a decent trade for Gerald, to be honest. Like, trading 1 for 1 essentially, even at shutting down the medevac, a nice little bonus. We do keep all of our Phoenixes alive. We're going to be pushing out, gaining map control, of course. And we even dive on the Raven. We force out the auto turrets. But the Raven is very low. We pick up the Mule of all things. Wait, Gerald. Wait, we're styling, but calm down, Gerald. Calm down. Yeah. The Phoenix. No. Phoenix barely survives. That Raven very low. Thankfully, we do have a repair. We do have a Viking coming out, keeping it alive. But future is contained to these 2 bases. Also, Blink is on the way. I am shocked. This is typically not what we go for here. Phoenix is initially into those Blink Stalkers. Meanwhile, the friendly fire. 2 SCVs go down. Oh my. Speaking of friendly fire. Future maybe a little bit, a little bit trigger happy there. A little bit flustered after the early game. It's been very chaotic. It's been a very high octane early game here. Aggression all around. We've seen SCVs going down. Probes as well. Finally, things are calming down at least a little bit here. And in this moment where we can breathe a little bit, Gerald is taking a 3rd base. He's still trying to maintain control of the bases of his opponent. Takes down an SCV. It's only 2 Winter Mines, by the way. Winter Mines? Only 2 Phoenixes, by the way. And despite that, we still get a surprising amount of damage done. We drove on the Raven earlier. We get 2 SCVs. We delay the racks even. And behind this, we're getting into Blink Stalkers. And Charge as well. Again, I was really shocked to see those Stalkers. I'm really shocked to see that Gerald didn't invest into Phoenixes, period. Just only for a moment before switching entirely into Blink Stalkers. Charge also behind this. We have a Templar Archives. It's going to be a Swarm Toss composition. Just Matt's Gateway units. No Colossus, no Disruptors. Not yet, at least. As the Stalkers move out, we want the Raven. Oh my god. We want the Raven. We don't get it. As we will be retreating. We will back off. Future having a good position here on the high ground. Behind this, as the Stalkers try to rotate around and try to find a way in, we do have a 3-1-1 setup here. Back in the main. Oh! Big tank volleys going off. Catching those Stalkers. Good moment here for Future. But there's no 3rd CC yet. Not saying this is a 2-base all-in, but very committed nonetheless here, as Future is going to be pushing. Slowly sieging across the map. Good control here out of Gerald. He's going to be able to force these slow sieges. This is delaying the push by so much here. Ooh. As more tank volleys go off. Meanwhile, across the map, those 2 Phoenixes. Again, it's only 2 Phoenixes. They get another 3 SCVs. How? It's crazy. Insane how much they've done, as Future is going to be sending it across the map. We have 3 tanks. We have the Raven as well for some auto turrets, for some disables. Storm isn't done. We get the surround, but we need a couple more seconds. Feedback instead. We force the Archon. Good pickup on the tank. Once again, the Phoenix being the MVP. But the Archon's going to go down. Storm finishes, but there's no High Templar. We will get on top of the tank. But this is still going to be a rough trade for Gerald. Again, he just needed a couple more seconds. If he had 1 storm, 1 good storm is all he needed. Alas, he barely didn't have it, as Future is stimming on forward. Boys are being pulled. Stalkers are going down. There's 0 Stalkers remaining. There's no army remaining here, as Future has barely broken through. He's getting a 3rd CC behind this on location. He's rotating around towards the 3rd base. He's killed 6 workers. It's a lot of Stalkers coming in to reinforce. Oof. Mine shot's not going to be connecting, but we get the mineral line. 15 probes go down, and we go straight for the natural base as well. We can still take a fight. And here come reinforcements. A Future looking to snowball out of control. The mines. Mines, they do force a blink. Auto turret thrown down as well. The Raven's still barely alive. And Future looks like he has pulled this off. Even if he's forced back here, he's done so much economic damage. Overcharge, not good enough. Zealots come in. We have the mines. We have plenty of Widow mines. And with these Marauders, he can push through these Stalkers. GG gets called, and Future will be taking game number 1. That was That was an intense game, Bobby. GG, well played. A very intense game, number one. Very back and forth. Very, again, high-octane game there between our two players. At moments, Gerald had certain advantages. At other moments, Future did. And again, that push was so committed. To wind it all back towards the end of that game, that was so close just because, well, as we do have to switch servers. But it was so close because, again, Storm was on the way. Storm was, what, 10 seconds away from finishing? And we had two High Templar. We had two High Templar banking up energy. They were gathering energy, getting ready for those storms. But because the push came a little bit earlier, because we just barely weren't able to hold off, the High Templar couldn't actually make use of their energy. They had to morph into, or they had to feedback, and they had to morph into Archons instead. Less than ideal. And again, if we did manage to have one storm, that would have been the world of difference in that defense, in that fight. It would have been huge. Let's say one storm, we probably would have had two. Would have had two. Un momento. We're good. As we are just going to be heading over to the European server. For those wondering, for those that are curious, the way this works is game 1 is going to be on NA, game 2 on EU, game 3 NA. We're going to be alternating back and forth here between the two regions, just to be as fair as possible when it comes to the server selection, of course. So we are just going to be heading back and forth here between the two servers. And yeah, GG, well played. That was, again, quite close, actually. Went down to the wire there. If Gerald would have defended, again, he would have been up in economy, up in bases. He would have been up in tech as well, because we would have had Storm and would have had more stable setup here getting into the mid game. Everything would have been different. Everything would have changed. And it looks like we are getting into game number 2. Un momento, just getting things ready. As it looks like we have our second map pick. Oh. We have our second map pick. It is going to be Hardlet as game number 2. Also, for those wondering, it is loser's pick, so we don't have vetoes ahead of time. It is loser's pick here for our players. So, of course, this is going to be Gerald's staging ground. It's going to be his pick and also his server as well. Oh my god. As we are getting into that second game. Oh. Catching him in the chat. Catching him in the chat. Oh, dzień dobry, dzień dobry. Yo, ID Danskik in the chat. I see Danskik in the chat. Welcome, yo, welcome. Dzień dobry. Bienvenidos. Complete slow bro as well. Wormshik. Welcome, Wormshik. Hello, hello. Here we go. We're getting into our next game, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Hardlet, we have the American Terran player representing Maturino Esports, leading the series 1-0. It is Future. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Polish Protoss player representing Storm Gaming, the red Protoss, down to the series, but it's a best of 5. Plenty of room to come back. It is Gerald. Go. Gateway Man is doing it. Yeah. Fun fact: coming into the ESL, this final day of ESL Asia, I was pinning Firefly as the favorite, as in, obviously the favorite to take down Cyan, and also to take games and go toe to toe with Oliveira as well. I was very excited for it. But again, I don't want to take away from this series either, though, because we have our two lovely players before us. And so far, again, has been quite close, at least in that first game. We'll see if we can tie things up here. I'm hoping for a back and forth. I'm hoping for a longer series. Who needs sleep? Who needs it? Aye, aye, aye. As the probe is going to be moving out. So far, we do have a gate expand setup, gate cybercore into the expansion. This time, Future does throw down his racks back at home. It's not going to be proxied out on the map. He is going to be chilling here. And we are going for an economic opener. That is only a single gas geyser here for Future. Is going into a CC on the low ground. There we go, and it wasn't delayed either. I mean, the probe is here to tase away at the SCV. We should be forcing a second SCV down onto the low ground to help deal with this and to keep this worker alive. Oh, as it does get tased away at. Again, Gerald being so annoying. Now the goal is to get the hell out of here. Reaper is on the way, and the Reaper ideally is going to be hunting this probe down, looking for where it could be hidden. He's going to be checking that linear third base, and it looks like he will come across the probe. Ooh. Gerald, he was trying to hide it, trying to come back in for another scout, but alas, he will be shut down. And Future can get his CC up and running. Meanwhile, back at home, across the map, Gerald, just setting up his, of course, gate cyber expand, getting into his own economic opener, and his tech of choice is going to be a Stargate, but I don't know what to believe anymore, because the last time we saw a Stargate, we only saw 2 Phoenixes, and then we went just straight into something entirely different. 2 Phoenixes into Blink Stalkers, of all things. As the depth does arrive, it looks like we will barely delay the CC. Oh my god. Couple of seconds off there, 1-2 seconds off, but it will not complete. So far, a great job of disrupting the opener here of Future. Gerald maintaining control of the low ground. SCV's on the way, can we get it? Oh, Unabas! And the SCV will survive. Adept goes down just in time, and Future will take control of his natural. And now we're pushing. Hellions and Reapers are moving across the map. We have our 1-1-1 setup. This time, no Widow Mines. We're getting into additional Hellions instead. And we are going to be threatening that natural base. Speaking of, Adepts are in position. The wall is still not up and running. It's on the way. Shield battery as well. And Phoenixes are in production. We're not getting into Oracles, just Phoenixes. Looking at the vision of Future, he hasn't gone into the main. He is in the dark. He is not fully aware of what is going on. Ooh. And we did have the tech lab on the starport. I assumed that it would just be for Raven production, but no, we're going for Banshees, and we're committing as well. Committing into Cloak. Here we go, we dive on in. We avoid the Adepts, we just rush on past into the mineral line. 3 Hellions, 2 one-shot workers. Oh my god, 3 probes go down already. But this will be cleaned up. We got 4 probes, and we got a full scout of the main, getting eyes on the tech, seeing, of course, the Phoenix production. Oh, Gerald's misplacing that Nexus for a moment there. Bit of an awkward cancel. But for the most part, we do see Gerald maintaining map control. Banshee's moving out, Cloak isn't done, but Future, he barely does avoid those Phoenixes. As they get across the map, we can pick up a couple of these Marines. Only one. Oh, as we can get into the shade. Attack a little bit too close. We go straight for the Marines as well, forcing the unsiege. I'm worried that maybe our Protoss is overextending a little bit here. As across the map, we do have the Banshee going ham here, forcing a recall. Do we have detection? We don't. No detection is available. We got 2 workers, and we're going to get even more. The Cloak Banshee just going ham. Sure, Future may have lost 5 SCVs across the map, but he's getting 5 probes here as well. And even more. The Oracle, it's still in production. We have two Banshees. We get up to 8, soon to be up to 9. There's the revelation. Finally, the Banshee is going to be shut down. But that is just so much inefficient mining, so much lost mining time in the main base. 8 probes going down. And behind this Future, he's settling in. 3-1-1 setup, 3 Raxes, 1 factory, 1 starport. +1 is on the way. We should soon be seeing Stim. And one of those Banshees, I believe, is still alive. There it is. Banshee going to be dipping into the natural once again. The Phoenix is out of position. We will get one extra probe, but it looks like we won't get much more. This second Banshee, not entirely worth it. The first one really popped off. The second, far less so. And this makes a lot more sense. This is what I expected from the last game. As in, we have Phoenixes into charge. Like this in my brain, this makes perfect sense. Remember, last game we had 2 Phoenixes into Blink Stalkers, which was wild. But essentially, again, Phoenixes, they do a great job at having map control, shutting down jobs, shutting down Banshees as well. And we have Zealots, of course, to complement, to be the ground army. Gerald's able to get into his 3-base saturation, making 3 workers at a time. With this faster third Nexus, he is helping recover from all those losses. Still not quite there yet, though. Still working on it. Speaking of, Future is working on his own 2-base push, with a much faster third CC behind it this time. So again, not all in. Hopefully. Ooh, oh my god! The Wither Mines, they were hidden underneath the tank. They pop off, they take down the Phoenixes. And the Phoenixes are completely shut down. The bait was real. Future. Hi. And now this is a little bit terrifying. This is scary. We're down to what? 3 Phoenixes. We have a stasis trap in the center of the map, but we don't really have much more to defend here. We have 14 Zealots. To be fair, that is a lot of Zealots. Oh, stasis trap. Up! Dude, trap the Widow Mines. That's pretty huge. Widow Mines are necessary here to deal with these Zealots. We're scanning ahead of time. We do see a couple of Zealots here at the natural base. 4th base is being spotted. Gerald getting ready to just collapse on this army. It's a revelation. And here come the mass amount of Zealots. The mine shots are not going off. The tanks as well do get picked up. And it looks like Gerald should have enough. Big mine shots, but he does deal with this. The tanks are going to go down. And without these tanks, can Future keep pushing? He's trying. He comes in with reinforcements. He wants to try to break Gerald here and now. Zealots coming in. Widow Mines, how good are the shots? Up! Oh my god. The drag. A lot of Marines went down to those Widow Mines. It did take down a Phoenix, but I think it was well worth it here, as Gerald is going to push this back. And picking up the Widow Mines as well. Good control here out of Gerald. Taking down the Widow Mines, the Medivacs. Up, the mine shots. Once again, a lot of big mine shots go off. But for the most part, Future is forced all the way back home, and we can just keep on going. What is there left to defend? The mines! They take down the final Phoenixes. Good hold position micro here on these SCVs. Only 10 workers go down. Future is trying to pull off a miracle defense, but you can see that things are snowballing out of control. Gerald, he's on 4 bases. He has a proxy gateway here to reinforce. And there are just too many Zealots. 22 Zealots against 5 Marauders. The numbers are not in Future's favor. And Gerald, he is looking to fight back. He is looking to put a point on the board and make a series out of this. Again, he was able to just handle the army oh so well. The Banshees were good. The Banshee, the first Banshee, was definitely a good way for Future to come back into this. But alas, the way that Gerald engaged with the army was beautiful. The way that he fought here out on the map. Stasis Trap was fortunate. He shut down the tanks, the Widow Mines, despite not having too many Phoenixes whatsoever. Oh no! Speaking of, another big Stasis Trap. And Gerald, he just has no chill. He probably should. He should have a little bit of chill at least. Doesn't want to push into mines. But again, he's up over 20 workers. We have a robot on the way, Robotics Bay, for double Colossus production, or maybe even straight Disruptors. Eventually both. I do think that Gerald is overextending a little bit here, though. These Zealots should be cleaned up as they're dealing with this Marine army. We do get into the mineral line. SCVs! SCVs are going down. This is going to get cleaned up, but it did deal quite a bit of economic damage, and we're not done. We probably should be done. We're not, though. We just keep warping. We just keep warping in. We just keep sending zealots across the map over and over again, and they just gain value. At least I'm hoping they gain value. We do have a lone zealot in the main base. Once again, we do hit the third, and Gerald, it's almost like he's using these zealots like lings. They just keep on going. The constant run-bys. They don't stop. Oh my god. Oh my god. There's no brakes on this train. There's no brakes on Gerald as he just keeps on going. Finally, he's running out of steam. Finally, the zealot run-bys, they do come to an end. And Future can take a moment to breathe. But as he takes a moment to look around himself and look around his bases, he's down to 30 SCVs, less than half of what Gerald has. As Future will finally shut down this proxy gateway. Back at home, Gerald, he's done with the Zealots. You know, they've already had their time in the sun. It's all about the Colossi, the robo production. Remember, double robo production, Immortals, Colossi, eventually Disruptors. Now, Future does have a pretty hefty army. He may have lost his economy. His economy, it's in shambles, puppy, it's in shambles. But the main army of Future is still terrifying, especially with those ghosts with those EMPs. But how many Colossi? 2 Colossi already, except the Lance in production. Soon to be a 3rd Colossi as well. Can we push in? Can we break this base? Are the rovers exposed? Overcharge is popped. Mine shots baited out by those zealots. Again, Future is trading well here with his marine army. But the Colossi, they're getting ever closer. We have zealots coming from behind as well, and Future is being forced back. I say forced back, forced to lift up, and he goes straight for the main, forcing a recall. At the same time, reinforcements are rallying towards that 3rd base. He wants to get revenge. He wants to be the one to pull apart his opponent. The rover's depowered. Everything at the low ground depowered here. We drop back into the natural. Back into the 3rd even. 12 workers go down. The Nexus as well. Gerald barely couldn't keep up. The Stalkers, they come in for a flank. Oh my god. The flanking reinforcements using this gateway as well. Full medevacs go down. Future, he did an amazing job. He took down a base, he depowered some of the production, he killed a lot of workers. This is true, but can he survive the counterattack? Because these Colossi, they're angry, they're upset. Want some of that Terran for themselves, and mine shots go off. They take down most of the Zealots at least. Future, he has a concave, he's holding. He's holding on. Vikings, they have arrived, but we have Stalkers to zone them back. The mines are baited out. Good control once again from Gerald. Boys are being pulled. That's the only way to try to hold on here. The Vikings going ham with the Colossus. Looks like one Colossus may just barely go down. Ooh, it will. The Immortal falls as well. At the same time, another Zealot. The Zealot run-bys. Ay, ay, ay. 7 more SCVs go down. Gerald, he still maintains his 20 worker lead. Isn't mining efficiently here. He's still trying to get his 4th base back up and running. Disruptor production on the way. Templar Archives for Archons. He's just taking up even further, and I still want to give Gerald the edge. I'm surprised that Future's been able to hold on, and he's somewhat stabilizing in a way. He has a terrifying army, but his economy, that is what is lacking. Oh, that's the main. I understand. And it's a bit of a desperation move here, but the main base is being lifted. Going to be landed as a 4th. Now, what's scary about this is that means that this 4th base isn't a planetary or an extra orbital, so we are going to be lacking here a little bit in the defense. Very risky maneuver. But this will keep Future in this game. Meanwhile, the Disruptors are coming out. Oh. He wants the army! Is he looking? No! He's not looking! GG gets called! Oh my god! The Novas connect, and Gerald ties up the series 1-1. Whew. my god. GG. That was wild, Poppy. That was wild. GG, well played. Whew. We have a series. We have a back and forth. Let's go. Let us go. Quite a way there to tie things up, and I mean, the end of the game was spectacular, but the lead up to it as well, like Gerald, he was just all over the place, all over Future, just non-stop Zealot warp-ins, Zealot aggression, left and right, the third base, the main, the natural, just, it was crazy, and Future just could not keep up. Of course, that was after he did end up losing a fight. The momentum swung in favor of Gerald, and Gerald, he just, yeah, never let up. He was unrelenting. It was suffocating. I was getting suffocated for Future. Like, it was it was crazy. It was crazy. It was insane. GG, well played. We have a series. And we are going to be hopping servers once again. We're going to be getting into game number 3. Going to be taking place on Oceanborn. I'm going to try and keep track of this. We got Oceanborn. We had Hardlead. We had Solaris as well. Beautiful. There we go. We're loading on in. Vámonos, papi, vámonos. Oh. And as a reminder, it's best of 5. Best of 5. It's still too early, I think, to really commit to a prediction or to really give either of these players too much of an advantage here for how this series will progress. I don't know if I want to say like one player has a distinct advantage over the other, but here we go. We're getting into this. We're diving into game number 3, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the Polish Protoss player representing Psystorm Gaming. It is Gerald. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the American Terran representing Maturino Esports. It is Future. Go. Macca's color. Oh, Slowbro, don't tempt me with the Macca's. I'm hungry. As once again, now that we are on the home field advantage for Future, remember it's every odd game on the Americas, every even game going to be on the the European server. And yeah, this time it's going to be another proxy Rax. Now, not the most committed proxy so far, only a singular Rax here outside the natural base of Gerald. Looking to try to swing things in his favor. 2 gases have been taking. I'm curious how committed this is going to be, and whether we do something crazy and even go for something like a tech lab on this Rax, and just double down here on aggression, or if it's just going to be a Reaper, we just go for a factory back at home, which is definitely on the table here for our Terran player. There it is. Yeah, Reaper's on the way. A part of me was like, yo, are we going to go Proxy Marauder? It's been a hot minute. Been a hot minute since I've seen Proxy Marauder in this matchup. I think the last time I saw Proxy Marauder was a week ago. Gumiho. I think Gumiho did it in... Was it a Kung Fu Cup? It was a weekly tournament. It was one of the weekly tournaments that we do cover. But yeah, it felt like there was a good like week or two where a lot of the Terrans are doing it. Clem, especially Clem, was very fond of the Proxy Marauder a couple of months ago. The last has since fallen out of favor. Bunker is thrown down. Zealot arrives. We shut down the SV. We shut down the bunker as well. And yes, so far, so good. As we're going to be trading 2 for 2. Reaper diving into the main base, getting a read on what's going on. It's going to be on Gerald to minimize losses and to pull back those weakened probes and make sure that they don't get focused down. Oh, ooh, another probe does fall. Good target firing here from Future. Good movement as the Adept finally does arrive, and we will zone this Reaper away. Behind this, we have a second Reaper. Rax is floating back home, where we already have a factory being set up here. And just like the previous time we saw this build, Future, he is delaying his CC and going into a starport. So a 1-1-1 opener out of Future. Very delayed CC. Very aggressive start here to the game. As the Reapers, they dive into the main base. One of them gets surrounded. Another best trade here for Future. He does not get a probe, and he is shoot away. Gerald making up for, again, what did occur earlier. Making up for all those dead workers. At the same time, Adept makes it into the main base. We're going to be looking to get an SCV, and we do barely get one. One SCV goes down. On top of that, Gerald also gets a full scout. He does get eyes on the building CC, so he's aware that this is not a one-base all-in. Very important to, again, confirm that. Especially against Future. Future's a very aggressive player. So what am I? The Zealot does waddle in. The wall was not a wall. It's wide open. And it looks like we will be delaying that CC. Forcing that Cyclone back home. Zealot going further into the main base, but should eventually be hunted down. Oh, a very cheeky location. Okay, so a lot just happened. The Zealot dove all the way behind the mineral line to get a scout off and to kill workers. Meanwhile, we do have an armory behind the mineral line, behind the natural mineral line. This is going to be a very committed mine drop. Detection is going to be required. The Robo is still on the way. Oh. And it was a Twilight Council, not a Stargate opener, which means we don't have an Oracle, which means these mines are going to get damage done. A lot of damage done. If we take down an Adept, we take down a Probe as well. Mines have been borrowed, and the armory does finish just in time. And we still don't have enough. We just don't have an observer. It's still not out. These mines are going to reset. Cyclone arrives, shelling away at that third base. Widow Mine seconds away from popping off once again, and we do react in time. Getting really good control here out of Gerald, averting disaster. Observer is on the way. Another mine drop coming in towards the natural. The mines, they will burrow. They try to. Up. Oh my god. Another 2 workers go down. 8 in total. The Cyclone going ham in the main. This time it's not the mines, it's the Cyclone. 11 probes go down. Up. Oof. For the price of a Metamac. We reset. As the mines, they do not pop off for a third time. And as the dust settles, Future has an economic lead. He's up 10 workers compared to Gerald. 10 workers plus mules. You can see here deep in the yellow, which is deep in Future. He likes it. It's fine. So again, Future does maintain his economic lead. We have +1 combat shields and stim on the way. Bunker is ready for this as well. And Gerald, he needs to get some counter damage done. How many gateways? 2. 2 gateways into a third base. Economic open out of Gerald, which means he doesn't have too much to work with. He has 6 stalkers. He has high ground vision with the observer. Doesn't have a way to reinforce. There is no robo. There is no prism. But that is a gateway explosion. That is 7 gates. That's going to be 9 gates in total. 7 gates in addition to the 2 that were already done. My oh my. Gerald, he's not taking his gases. This is looking like an all-in from our Protoss player. No gases, which means we're not taking. We're not taking up into Temple Archives, into Archon, Storm, Colossus. Just purely Zealots. And here comes that War Prism. Scan. Oh, can you get the Can you get the observer? Second scan. We'll get it. Just barely in time. Now, it did cost 2 scans, so kind of worth it for the observer. And Future is starting to push out, and I feel like this might be ideal for Gerald. Gerald, with these 9 gateways, he's going to be able to amass quite a large Zealot army. So 8 gates, not 9. 8 gates in total. Zealots are on the way. Do we have enough, though? Can we deal with this? Okay, we're going to be steaming on forward. There are Widowlands behind this army as well. take down some Zealots, but good control out of Gerald. He does avert disaster. But more Widowmines have arrived. Gerald is forced back. Another Observer's on the way. Gerald's going to rotate around. Still no additional gases. We do have the Forge for +1. But for now, Gerald, he's going to back up. Shield batteries are on the way. Another pylon as well. There's the Bay. We're going to get into Colossus production. Gerald, he's thinking further ahead. He is going to be thinking further ahead here. As likewise, Future, no third CC, is long distance mining, throwing down 2 more Raxes. Oh my god, how committed is Future? Just doubling down here. Oh, the Stalkers, no! Miscontrol, every single Stalker goes down. Ay. The move command was real. The Widowmines apart, big shots go off. We take down the Prism as well, and it looks like Future is snowballed out of control. Just too many good trades. GG gets called, and Future will take game number 3, taking a lead in this series. Whew. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Future essentially 2-base all in there. He was getting his third CC on location behind it, but it was such a late third. Just so hyper committed with his bio army. Barely breaking through there. And yeah, it was just a really unfortunate moment towards the end there where, of course, Gerald, he did end up losing all of his Stalkers. That was what, like 6 or 7 Stalkers for free going down. That was a brutal moment. I did see the 1G. I did. I did notice. The Future was able to run away with it, and now we are getting into our next game here. Again, Future has a lead, but we are hopping over to the European server. We will have Gerald now with that home field advantage. Alright, sometimes it takes a little bit long to log into EU. Smooch, buddy, smooch. We're getting there, As again, it is going to be Gerald's map of choice, and it is... Oh, let's go. It is going to be Radisson Station. Because of course it is. Let's go. Beautiful. We have our next map. We have our next map here, and we'll see, does it all end here on Radisson Station, or does Gerald have something special planned in store? Again, a very unique map, a map that we very rarely get to see. I'm ready for it. Here we go. Again, this map, typically vetoed, does have a lot of defensive features, and I'm curious how we're going to approach this, because we've seen one of two things. Either the player that picks this map uses it to, you know, just establish themselves, get into the mid game, get into late game with a brutal economy and snowball out of control, or try to lure their opponent into cutting too many corners, being too greedy, and then you catch them with an all-in instead. We can go one of two ways, and we'll see what direction we head in. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Radisson Station, we have the American Terran player, the yellow Terran representing Matcherino Esports. It is Future. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent, we have the Polish Protoss player representing Storm Gaming. Down in this series, looking to fight back, looking to force the ace match. It is Gerald. Here we go. Again, some of the features, of course, of Radisson Station is not just the fact that there is a pocket base. That's a big one, don't get me wrong, that's a big one. But there is no Reaper Cliff. No Reaper Cliff going into the natural or going into the main base from outside the natural either. It is kind of a one-track path here to try to get a scout off. Very difficult. As a result, a lot of players have actually... Oh my god! A lot of players have opted to skip their Reaper entirely because they know that they can't get away with it. It's a straight-up Nexus first against a CC first. This is Radisson Station. Let's go. And this is what I love about this map, is that this map specifically does cater and lean towards very unique builds and very unique openers, because you cannot get away with a Nexus first and a CC first like this on any other map. This is very unique and akin to Radisson Station. It's beautiful, you know, it's amazing. I wouldn't want every map to be like this, not at all, but having a strange map like this, I can appreciate it. I can appreciate it. Behind this, off of a very economic opener, very greedy opener, we're going into a 3 racks. Makes sense because we don't have any gases. 0 gases here from Future, so 3 axes are thrown down. We're getting into our setup. Likewise, Gerald should be going for a full wall off. The other advantage of this map as well is that you can fully wall off here at the natural base, and you don't really get punished for it because we have destructible rocks on the right hand side, which means once you fully wall off and once you're saturated on 3 bases, when you finally want to push out, you can just knock down these rocks and move out. You don't have to destroy any of your own buildings. And there is the forge. Let's go. So yeah, we're just getting into the swing of things here. CC's floating over, going to be looking to take advantage of it and get our bases up and running, get into our economy. And tech-wise, I am curious. With this Forge, I wonder if it is going to be a Stargate or a Twilight Council. Forge does mean we can get fast +1 attack, but there it is. Stargate is turned down. And I wonder. So I'm fully aware that in the PvZ matchup, rushing into Skytos is a very viable thing. Let's go. And apparently also viable against Terran as well. That is going to be a double Stargate follow-up here. Oh boy. Now this should be for double Stargate Phoenix, but we'll see if Gerald does something crazy and again heads in a different direction. Marines are moving out for some map control, Adept moving out as well. Behind this we do have a bio army being set up here. Stim and combat shield's going to be on the way. Future, he's just amassing a bio army, getting ready for a time and getting ready for a push. And if Geralt is too greedy, this stim timing could kill him. Not saying it will, but it could. Here we go. Adept's going to be threading a shade towards the main base. Marines are revealed, but we haven't seen the main yet. Geralt likewise also in the dark. There it is. We're making 2 Phoenixes at a time, slowly building them up. As Adept does shade into the pocket base, gets eyes on the fact that there's only 1 mineral patch, and the SCV is under fire. Barely gonna escape. Oh, we won it. We're back. Oh. As Adept does kind of chip away at some of these workers, but should be dealt with in the end. Is gonna get forced back. And Future, he can go back to mining out that mineral patch, back to trying to take a 3rd base. The sim timing is about to hit, but it looks like Future, he's decided to stick around. He's waiting for the starport instead, waiting for the rest of his tech to kick in. Meanwhile, here come those Phoenixes. And as Geralt moves out, as he gains map control, a big shout out to Kamikaze in the chat. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Bienvenidos, papi, bienvenidos. welcome viewers here to a show match, a best of 5 between Future and Gerald. Again, so far Future has the lead, but here we go. The Phoenixes, they dive into the main. SCVs are going down, and Future, he ignores the Phoenixes. He pushes out. He's moving out across the map. Phoenixes, they did spend a lot of energy here in the main. And Future, can this move out really achieve much? I mean, we're going to pick away at it. We're trying to, at least. Again, the goal here for Geralt is to either pick off units or force a stim. Another Marine goes down. Every stim counts, every stim hurts. There are no medevacs here, no way to support this army. And if there were medevacs coming out, then these Phoenixes are here to deny them. As we go straight for the Marines. Oh my god. Every single Marine goes down. And back at home, do we have anything to defend? We have cannons, shield batteries, sentries, force fields, immortals as well. Yeah, we scan the natural, and Future, he's like, nope. He's like, I want none of this, Bobby. He just turns back around. No, the medevacs, they get shut down as well. Gerald snowballing out of control, shuts down the medevacs, delays the CC. Future going to be knocking down these rocks instead. Rocks get knocked down. Are we going to mule? Do we have SCVs? There we go. Yeah. I was like, what's our plan here? Mules are thrown down. It's going to take a while, though. And this has been spotted. And the army's in position. The wall has opened up, but again, it is a narrow choke point. Pushing through here is not going to be easy. Future has to back off. He's rotating around. Charges on the way. Additional Phoenix production as well. The bay is done, which means we can get into Colossus. A bit of a supply block from Geralt, which is less than ideal, but once he breaks free, he can likewise break free from his contain. He wants another medevac. That's a lot of mines. Forcing friendly fire. Oh no! Massive mine connections here on the Phoenixes. Good connections, but it's still not enough. Not on its own. As we ignore the mines, get into the mineral line. 6 SCVs go down. And Future, he turns all the way back home. And I will say Future's in a really rough position because he was trying to be active and trying to be aggressive. He doesn't find a way in. That's a fleet beacon on the way. It looks like Geralt is getting ready for Colossus and soon to be carriers as well. Can he survive long enough though? That's the real question here. Can Geralt survive long enough to actually make use of this fleet beacon? Because Future, he's got a pretty intense army. He's got a lot of supply. He has a lot of supply to his name, is pushing on forward, scans ahead of time, sees a wall of cannons. Up! Gets a Phoenix. Almost gets a second. Not too bad. Server does get picked off. Future gonna try and rotate around. He's looking for another way in. Looking for another way forward. It's going to be Phoenix range on the way. Not Colossus yet. Sorry, not carriers yet. That's what I meant to say. As first Colossus has arrived, we're diving on in. The force field. Oh my god. The force fields are insane. Mine shots go off, but Geralt, he is able to hold on. The mine. Ooh. Here we go. We're going for a second dive. The force fields once again just stopping Future in his tracks. He's trying desperately here to close the distance. Breaks through the side defense, breaks through the wall of reinforcements as well. He gets one, and he gets a second as well. The road is, can he get a third? Oh my god. Doesn't quite get a third Colossus, but he traded damn well. He got 2 Colossi, 2 Immortals. He just needed to get on top of the army. He barely was able to, and now we have some reinforcements on the way. But Future, he may be overextending here. There's not really much to this army. He's pushing in. He's crazy. Again, he's breaking through with 2 Marauders, a handful of Marines. Show CMP. Does graze one of the Colossus. Not much else. The minefield is insane, and Future is going to back off for a moment. He's consolidating his army, getting his 4th CC up and running. Likewise, so has Gerald, and we're going for a Doom Drop into the natural. But carriers are in production. Carriers are on the way. Almost a full medevac goes down. Desperation move here out of Future, and I don't think it's been worth it. Just a line shot. Oh, the probes! Oh my god. The probes do go down. But these pieces, they shut down another full medevac. With that, as time goes on, Gerald, he's just building up his carrier counts, building up his Colossi. 2 more carriers on the way. And Future is just being outpaced. So the mines are going to be dealt with. We go Doom Drop towards that pocket base. Whereas Gerald's still with a pretty comparable army, even an army that's ahead. Pieces move out. Up. And they barely do not catch the medevacs. Future gonna back off. At least he does keep the majority of his army alive. He's gonna be meeting up with his reinforcements. Future once again going for the mule. I'm gonna work through some of these mineral patches. We do have a decent name, EMP. But there's still carriers in position. Like, how do we break through this? We can't. We trade well against the zealots. That actually being forced back. The stutter stepping is real. Oof! Oh my god. Once again, the friendly fire from those Widow Mines taking down most Marines. And with that, Gerald, he does hold. And now he doesn't just hold, he's up to 4 Colossi. Soon to be 5, soon to be 6. We are reaching critical mass. Future on the flip side is looking to transition to Vikings. We have +1 ship weapons on the way, but it's a very delayed upgrade. Very delayed. Very late response here from our Terran, and here we go. Gerald, he's going to be pushing. At the same time, his fresh mining base is exposed. This 5th, it might even be denied. The Marines are going ham. They dive on the base itself. The X is getting very low. Can we get it? Not quite. No, it was close though. Well, it's close. Meanwhile, the reinforcements, we just send it right down the center. Right into the pocket base. We force a recall. Colossi are looking exposed. We dive on top of the Colossus. 1 goes down instantly. We get a 2nd. And we're looking for the 3rd. 3rd Colossus goes down, but we can't get the carriers. Nothing shoots up. It's only Marauders. Nothing shoots up the carriers. They clean up the army. And we still have another Colossus on the ground. It was an impressive dive. It was an impressive dive from Future. He achieved a lot with it, but not enough. Only had Marauders remaining. Here come the Zealot reinforcements. We're getting in some of the ghosts. No! The ghosts are going down. Has expensive losses here from Future. Phoenixes, they want to chase this down as well. This Future is trying to pull his reinforcements back home. Oh my god, the mines. Not bad. Mine's gonna be popping up. Nuke here at the fresh mining base of Gerald, which hasn't spotted. Gerald does have detection, thankfully. Whew. Gets picked up. Drop into the fourth. Once again, the main army pushing towards that pocket base. Gerald having a hard time keeping up. He's spread too thin. He has the better army. He has a very powerful army here, but he's not getting the fights that he wants. And this time, recall is on cooldown. This base is gonna fall. And Gerald doesn't turn around. He doesn't flinch. He's gonna keep on pushing. We're looking to trade a base for a base. Likewise, though, Future also pulling back. He's aware that something is wrong. The army, it needs to be somewhere. It has been revealed. The surround! Oh my god! The boys are being pulled. The Marines, they do dive on top of the carriers, and we get a full surround of the army. And oh my god! We swallow it all up. And just like that, in one fell swoop, Gerald, he loses everything. Almost everything goes down. I'm a little bit shocked there. I was leaning back. I was like, mate, this death ball of an army, we're gonna move out. We're gonna roll over everything, right? But no, he gets caught out in the open. Future having an amazing fight. He catches more of these Phoenixes as well. Ay, not like this. I thought we were going to the ace match. No, the mines, they survived earlier. They have reset. We're ready to go once again, and Future, he has maxed out. Ay. Not like this. We still have 4 carriers back at home, but 4 carriers that pales in comparison to how many did we have earlier? 5. 5 carriers went down in that surround. Oh my god, the friendly fire. Friendly fire is insane. It's going to force Future back. Meanwhile, reinforcements, they hit the right-hand side. Gerald, he's being pulled apart, having a hard time keeping up here. Recalls the carriers back to the 4th base, which means the natural's exposed. There's just too much going on here. As bases are going down, he wants the disruptor. Doesn't get it. Doesn't get the Colossus either. Gerald, he's still fighting back. He's still barely holding on. Oh, the Winter Mines weren't dealt with. They're going to reset here on the right-hand side. Here comes the army once again. We're going straight for the Nexus, and we will get it. The base does go down. Oh, the friendly... Oh, my God. Once again, some hefty friendly fire to the Marines. But we stim forward anyway. We're going for the probes. And we're going to get them. 6 workers go down. Army's coming back in. Taking the gas geysers. Now, is Future overextending? Potentially. We need to calm some things down. We need to consolidate the army. Bring everything together. Behind this, my god, a wall of Raxes were thrown down to keep the production going. We have the 5th. We have the 6th base now as well. Future's economy is insane. And he once again, he catches High Templar. 2 High Templar go down. Archon as well. Mine shots, some friendly fire here. It looks like Gerald, he will force this back. At the same time, though, the natural base is finally going to fall. And the mines, oh, they're resetting. Never goes up. Never does go off. Gerald, he's got the Future trying to push on in. The mines, they reset. They go off here on the carriers as well. They don't kill anything, but they do a lot of hull damage. And Future, he wants to finish them off. He wants the carriers, Papi. He wants them. Protection has arrived. We can clean up the mines. Once again, I do hope that Future, he doesn't rally in. He doesn't want to trickle his reinforcements towards the army. He's going to be pulling back. Let's pull back for a moment, rotating towards the right-hand side, looking to try and disrupt some of these mining bases. Zelda going down. Do we have Storm? We do not. No Storm. High Templar falls. And this is not the fight to take. Gerald doesn't have the support he needs. Colossus goes down. The carriers as well. And it looks like, once again, Future, he has done it. We do have a recall. Oh, but the mines are going off once again. One Colossus makes it out here. We have a couple of carriers as well. It looks like Gerald, he's barely surviving, but at the same time, the natural is compromised. Future just all over this. He depowers the wall. Do you have a defensive orbit of units? Ghost slipping into mineralize as well. There's just chaos all over the place. That's a lot of ghosts. This is an expensive army. Oh. Oh. As they do get the Oracle and the Observer. You know what I'm saying? I have to get the hell out of here. Another miss rally. No. Free ghosts. Pretty expensive losses, but at the same time, it may not matter. It may not matter at this point. Just because of how well, or just, yeah, how far ahead Future is. How well established he is. He's taking the goal base. He's expanding on the right-hand side as well. So many bases. Too many bases. Too great of an economy. And again, a lot of this did come down to the big surround that we had earlier. If it wasn't for that, Geralt, he may have just snowballed out of control. He may have been able to max out and just send it. He barely couldn't. We can see Geralt trying to get into double robot production to try to keep things going. Oh, the mines, they keep resetting. No. Here comes Future once again. This is the last bastion of hope, the last mining base here of it. Geralt. And we just dive on the army. We just push forward. We can even just focus out all the interceptors as well. Disruptor goes down. There's 2 carriers remaining. Big EMPs, 1 carrier left, 0 carriers left. GG gets called, and Future will take the series a 3-1, winning his first show match. GG, well played. Oh my god. GG, well played. I was convinced. At a certain point in this game, I was convinced that we were going to get an ace match. I was like, yeah, okay, we got this. You know, we've just shut down the army time and time again. We've built up a Skytoss army here as well with all these carriers. We can just send it and we can get a game 5. We can get an ace match, but again, Geralt maybe was a little bit premature with his move out. Still had more carriers on the way behind this. Was maybe a little bit too adventurous, a little bit too cavalier. He was caught out. He was surrounded. He was shut down, and Future pulls it off. I'm a little bit in shock, a little bit in awe, but just really well done here by Future. And once he was able to take that fight, he gained so much momentum. He was in the driver's seat from then on forward, and because he had map control after that, there was no way for Geralt to try to deny any of the bases. We saw that Future's economy was insane, just mass expanding, taking a 6th, a 7th, and 8th base towards the end as well, just because there was no way for Geralt to really vie for map control. He had lost so much leading into the mid game and leading towards the late game, and yeah, he was just stuck at home, barely defending, barely not defending. Oh, are we playing this out? Are we? Oh. Wait, am I mistaken? Is this a best of 7? Am I crazy? Oh, okay. Okay, we're good. So Gerald's like, next game, Papi, next game. I'm like, it's over. I was just making sure that I wasn't I wasn't like misinterpreting anything. GG, well played. Whew. With that, that does wrap up our first best of 5, our first show match. We have one more ahead of us though. Uno más, papi, uno más. Again, exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the Wikipedia page and of course at everything that is ahead of us. And yeah, we have Future versus Milky Cow up next in a TvT. Let's go.